Hey everybody, welcome to Sexy Nerd Science. I'm Drew.
Hello there. I'm Josh.
Greetings, I'm Dale.
And this is your weekly stream of the podcast. We're going to do this for the time being until we can get on a regular schedule. But how's it going, guys?
Going good, going good.
I know we've been shit chatting on the Twitch already, but Josh thinks he's cool because he lived in Michigan, but now it doesn't matter because he's lived in Nebraska more. So he's a Nebraska boy. And that being said, what did you guys do this week?
So they tried to cut down a tree in my yard the other day. They came, DTE, the people who, you guys don't know DTE is my electric company.
I do know DTE.
So the electric company came and they knocked on my door and they're like, well, they actually knocked on my door. Amanda went outside and saw there was people that we couldn't leave because there was people blocking our driveway. And they said, yeah, we need to cut down your tree. And I'm like, no, you're not doing that. Like, oh, we just need to trim it. We just need to trim a little bit of it. All the houses around my area have had their trees cut down so much, the trees are dying because of how bad it is. And I said, no, thank you. And they're like, well, we have to do it. I'm like, well, I'm not giving you access to my property. Go away. and they left. So, however, Amanda was proactive, called DTE and said, we can do that, or we'll let you come back, but we want you to cut it in a certain way that doesn't affect the electricity line, and that still doesn't kill the tree because all the trees around us are dead. And the lady's like, that makes sense. So
yeah, so you have to as a arborist in training for the city of Bellevue for 2 years. There's specific ways you have to cut trees. Otherwise, if you just like chop too much of it off, it'll kill the entire tree.
And that's why I didn't want to happen.
Yeah. So, is it just for power line clearance then?
Exactly. They're being proactive about it, which I enjoy, and I'm okay with them cutting back some of the tree if they need to. But I went out there today. I didn't actually go out and look at the tree yesterday when they were here, but I went out there today and I looked at it, and the tree comes straight up, and then the power lines go right over, and then the tree splits off in half and goes like this. Over the electrical line, there's a few branches, but nothing heavy. Like if one of those branches did break off and fall on it, they wouldn't hit the power line. If they did, it would be a light branch that wouldn't knock the power line out. So I'm like, what are you going to cut down anyway?
To ground?
What?
Could it go to ground and like arc?
Well, at that point, if the tree was still connected to it and it did touch it, yes, it definitely could. But even a little bit, that might be even a little bit of tree. If they cut down those branches, that's fine with me. Well, they're tiny branches; it'll be out of the way. That's fine. The issue I have is there was a tree that was, I'm not joking you, 50 feet away from the power line. They started cutting off, and I said, "You're cutting off a huge thing. This goes right through the tree. This goes right through the tree. I wish I had a picture of it because it goes right through it. Actually,
so is
I might have a picture.
So Dale, is there is it like a have they been cutting the center of the tree out?
No, it doesn't actually go through like the center. It's just like where the trunk comes up, and then it stops right here, and then it splits off from here into two big areas where it branches off more.
Yeah,
right there is where it goes through.
Because what happens is, and this is just my experience, but what happens is like we've had trees that go straight through. It goes straight through, and they'll go in and they'll just snip out the center stuff for 10 years, and then the tree itself will be too tall, will grow to the point where the thicker trunks and stuff are closer to the power lines than normal, and then they have to take the trunk stuff out, or the heavy stuff out, I guess, more so.
Yeah. So
this never would have happened if we would have just let Tesla have his power.
So this is my tree. It's obviously, there's tons of power lines going right through. But if you look right in the center here, like the branches break off this way and this way quite easily. Like it goes up and right over them, there's branches this way, but there's nothing heavy. There's nothing like if something fell on it, like if a big one of these things like actually went on it, that's one thing. But like these things are thick branches. Like, yeah, if a lightning strikes, a tree's gonna fall on it.
Yeah.
Behind behind it, there's
trees.
bigger trees that would do the same thing.
I'm honestly surprised, Dale, that there's as much of that tree in the center of that as there is.
Mm.
Because Bellevue and Omaha have like a 3-foot rule or something.
Yeah.
So they have to have 3 foot of clearance all the way around the power line. So
Yeah.
if that were the case, they would have cut basically half of those.
And that's
out.
exactly what they've been doing.
So the only issue with that, Dale, is I don't know if it might be different in your area, but here that is if a branch falls on it, you're responsible.
And it could be similar.
The repair.
So this is a tree across the street from my house. And if you see, they literally cut half of the tree away from the power lines. Like they cut all the way to the top and all the way below the branches.
Yeah.
Or below the power lines. That's not needed. They cut so much of the tree.
There's one at my parents' house that they literally carved the tree up and then over the power lines. So it's literally this like perfect hedged, like reverse hedged tree over the power lines because it's like I said, 3 foot up and 3 foot over. So
yeah. I understand they have to do it for maintenance or for keep making sure the power lines stay. We definitely lose power. I don't want to say a lot during a storm, but it's normally caused from a power line going down. It's one of the big reasons, and it's usually in our area because we have a lot of older trees. So I'm okay with them being proactive about it. I'm okay with them coming out and trimming it. The amount that they've trimmed around our area has been ridiculous. So that's why we contacted the electric company. And they were very understanding, and they said they'd come out again and take a look at and do an actual assessment instead of these guys, like the other guys, they were on this side of my house doing stuff one day, they're on this side of my house doing stuff the next day, and then behind my house. So I was like, okay, I'm seeing what you're doing to these things, the same guys. No way you're cutting down this tree. Now, legally, I have no way to stop them because they're allowed to maintain their power line. It's called a utility easement. So that's fine, and they're allowed to come on my property to do it. So I'm not gonna sit there and try to like legally fight it or anything like that. I just want to make sure that here's my biggest thing: they cut so much where the tree dies.
Yeah, and then you have to take care of it.
And then I have to take care of a dead tree. I have to pay for it to get them removed because now it is an actual hazard where it wasn't before, and obviously it grows flush every year. And another thing, here's an even bigger thing that Amanda loves because she's a nature lover and whatnot. Not that not everybody is, but she's like hardcore. It's a black walnut tree, and so it's super. I don't want to say rare, but the wood is very valuable, and it's a hardwood, very very hard and thick wood.
So what you're saying is we need to come cut a bunch of branches off so the tree dies, then we could sell it off for a bunch of money.
So that's what I'm thinking. But no,
bonfires at Dale's house are always fun.
She actually a lot of people have been burning wood and it smells great outside.
I love the neighbor across the street. The neighbor across the street does fire like every day.
Yeah,
and it's just nice. So
that's my weekly story.
Yeah, Josh, go ahead and tell me, or show the world what you've been doing.
So I spent 7 days printing this entire helmet. Just constantly printing.
I know you were worried about the 20% larger. Does it feel 20% larger, or does it feel like it would fit pretty well?
So I actually had to cut some of the bottom out a little more, just around like this space here, because my head still couldn't fit into it. So,
you got a big ass head.
Yeah, so I mean, and like my eyes line up perfectly with where it's supposed to be. They're not too high. I need to obviously put some support in there so it's not resting on my shoulders the whole time.
Yeah, but if you get a $10 bicycle helmet and just rip the foam out.
Yeah, they have like the foam inserts. They're for cheap online, I saw, and you just like stack them up however high you want them to go. They're like a 1/2 inch thick or 1/4 inch thick, and you just put as many as you need to give you the clearance. But this was my first time putting Bondo and like primer on stuff, because normally 3D prints, when the stuff comes out, like there's print lines and stuff in it, and like you can feel.
Hey, look, that's my mount.
This is your mount for your Actually, this is a really good thing. So you can like see the lines, the print lines on the inside, and you don't want that on a helmet. So all the forums and stuff were like, oh, you get glazing and spot putty Bondo, and just put it over the whole entire thing. And I was like, oh, okay. So it was like 60 degrees here the other day, so I was outside, just put a bunch of Bondo on it.
Did you have
And
to
then got to
spread it or
sand it down.
spray it?
I spread it with, I had latex gloves, so I just spread it on with my hands,
Okay.
just a pretty thin layer to get rid of all the spots.
Yeah.
And then I sanded it down really smooth, and then put a couple layers of primer on it, sanded those down, put a couple more layers of primer on it.
I wouldn't say
So
really smooth, maybe moderately smooth.
no,
Smoother than the print lines.
no. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie, like it feels like I can see divots and stuff in them, but I can't feel them. So it's really, I love it. Like, I'm
So
so excited. I'm looking so much forward to like painting this because I think it's gonna look so good.
usually with Bondo or stuff like that, there's two versions of it. There's stuff for big work and there's stuff for small work. You might want to do a light layer of the small work stuff, like look for the specific stuff, and then you'll be able to cover the small stuff one more time before you continue. If you want to, it doesn't matter. I mean, it looks good.
Well, and
I think it looks.
so
I think it looks
yeah,
con quality.
I didn't think that. So they were like, the guy who did this, who printed off this helmet before, who designed it, was like, you only need one tube of this Bondo putty, or it's glazing and spot putty. And I was like, oh, okay, it comes out
It's
like
the small
toothpaste.
stuff.
Yeah, it's like a toothpaste thing. It's step 2 in the Bondo process. Um, but so I was like, okay, so I bought 2 of them just in case, and I'm so glad I did, because it took the whole 2 tubes to cover the whole thing, like he said to do. So, like, I don't know if he was a little more sparing than I was or what, but like I covered the entire thing in the spot putty. Um, and yeah, it's been really nice. The only thing I didn't like is, so it bubbled up a little bit, and as it bubbled up, um, when I went to go smooth and sand down the final coat of primer here, or the second to final coat of primer, there were bubbles, and I could feel the Bondo bubbles underneath, but they were hard bubbles, so I had to take a just like a normal file tool, and I went over it pretty aggressively with this to smooth out those bubbles, and then went over it with 120 grain sandpaper, and then 500 grain sandpaper, and then I went over with some 2000 grain sandpaper, which just feels like toilet paper, like it's super soft, but it's got like a nice polish on it right now, which is pretty cool.
Did you wet sand it or dry sand it?
I could wet sand it. The problem with, I'm worried about is PLA. When it's
This is
I
what
can't
I've
think of
been.
the word. What's it called when you put water on something and absorbs it? It's not hydroscopic. Or hydrophobic. It's the opposite. It absorbs
Absorbent.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
porous, so it absorbs.
so the when you get PLA wet, what happens is it absorbs moisture, and then as
Absorbs.
it dries, it can warp and change things like that. So I
Yeah.
didn't want to mess with any wet sanding necessarily.
Nice.
But like I said, it's working really well. I'm gonna put one more layer. So Captain Rex, it's Captain Rex from his Phase 2 helmet from Star Wars Clone Wars. He's got weld lines on it that I put on today. That I just took my soldering iron and literally took a black piece of filament and went through and did filler lines and soldered on the filler lines to get this weld across the whole top of the helmet. So I'm going to go over one layer with primer on top of that, and then do the whole thing white, and then go through and mess up this a little bit to kind of get the weld to kind of show through again. Put some yellowing tint on it, some coffee grounds, kind of dirty up the helmet to make it look used. But yeah, I'm really excited. Captain Rex is probably one of my favorite characters from Clone Wars, Rebels,
Oh,
and on.
Charlie's stepdad did a Mando, from the show Mandalorian. So he did a Mando costume, and she said that the other day we were watching it, and she said, "You need to be the other guy." And so I'm trying to have a couple of my buddies do me up some parts pretty soon here. So
To turn you into Grogu.
no, no, to do the Boba Fett costume.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah, she just says because we watched the or not the Sarlacc episode, but um
The
the
Mandalorian episode.
the Mandalorian episode, but it was the one where they fight the
Oh,
worm.
the crate dragon.
Like yeah. So and that was the episode that we watched. This was a couple weeks
Ooh.
ago.
You could be Cobb Vanth. I could see you being Cobb Vanth
Yeah. So
instead of Boba.
yeah, I mean, so that's the it's the Boba armor, but it's um, but she liked that, so that was fitting because it would be like Phil's taller than me, so if we ever did like do go together, it would like work perfectly.
Yeah.
Just throw
I
some
think
gray.
was the
Just throw
episode
some
called The
gray in there.
Marshal, I think is the name of that episode.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So now that I was kind of just waiting for Josh to quit playing around with the CR6 enough to let me take it over with a couple prints for myself. So
Start printing some stuff. Just buy me the
I've
filament. I got the time.
as I say, I've got Tyler Mueller, shout out, sent me all of the files because before Josh had his deal, that's who did Phil's. So and Josh didn't have a big enough one at that time to like do a full helmet. So but I think Tyler's got the CR10.
Yeah, which is slightly bigger than mine actually.
Yeah, 400 by 400.
Oh, then it's the same size.
It's four
I think
by
it's
4 by
420 by 420 or 450 by 450.
He sent me the message the other day. I
Yeah,
thought yours
I
was
think the CR10 Max is bigger than the CR6 Max, but the CR10 I think is the same size as the CR6
I thought yours
Max.
was only 3 by 3 by 350 tall.
No, I'm 400 by 400.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, this mask is 380 tall.
Nice. But yeah,
Those are
so
millimeters for anybody listening that's curious.
yeah, he says 4 by 4 by 4. So
Yeah, I think the CR10 and the CR6 Max are the same size print bed.
nice.
Cool.
But yeah, Josh didn't have the other that your CR6 yet, so I kind of just reached out.
I will say this: if I print another helmet, I'm not doing it in one piece again.
Why's that?
Structurally, this helmet was fine. Like, it is perfect. Okay, I am so cut up from trying to get the stuff out of that helmet because I didn't have access. Like all the when you print the 3D material, you have to print supports for it, and so like the entire inside here where the visor would be was filled with print supports. Inside had print supports all around like this inside edge down here. There's a whole like layer you can't see in here, but there's a whole layer in here that had supports that needed to be taken out. And so like I had to like work in here and just yank stuff out.
Hey, Josh, you know what would have helped with that?
What?
If you would have just taped the edge, it wouldn't be sharp.
Well, that's probably true, but it was still a pain. Like even then, like I mean, I have on my thumb, I cut myself because I just literally was taking pliers, and when the support gave way, the support came and just sliced my thumb up and up to my wrist, because it was sharp plastic. So
Yeah.
I this helmet normally comes in 3 pieces, the top dome part, and then it splits down the back side here, and then you can just glue them together and then Bondo and spot putty over it. You can't even tell. I actually broke the mask right here when I was trying to rip stuff out, and then I just used my soldering iron and melted it back together again.
Tip it back a little bit.
You can see slightly.
Yeah, I could definitely tell
where it came from.
But
again, it looks okay because that's also where Captain Rex's helmet's broke.
Fair enough. So let's jump into the news here. So
Yeah, enough about Star Wars.
yeah, well, we'll get back to that soon. Um, trust it'll be a large rest of the topic. Um, it is the holiday season here at 600 Science, so we are going to say if whatever holiday you celebrate here, um, uh, go ahead and insert our greeting for that. But not most importantly, most recently, I suppose we started Hanukkah, correct? Yesterday, day
Yep.
Today.
yesterday.
Yesterday, Thursday,
Oh, was it
December
yesterday?
10th to Friday, December 18th is the time frame.
So
At least that's what Google told me.
and then well, so yeah, so um, because they have the holiday schedule, um, so uh, this is the holiday schedule. So Hanukkah started yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Wait,
So happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish listeners.
why does it say?
I thought Apple told me that it was today. It was Hanukkah.
Well, Apple has never been right on anything, so I wouldn't
That's
trust.
true.
Whereas
Other than
Overlord Google, has been slipping up lately too. So I don't know about any of that.
Google's not getting sued nearly as much as
Lately,
Facebook
they
is.
have been.
Facebook's getting a lot worse than Google or anybody else.
I think. Well, yeah, definitely. But I think
That's because Google
Google's.
split up their company before
I think
Facebook.
Google's is any of the ones that say Facebook or any of the lawsuits lately that are about Facebook are about Google as well. And Google just fired people just recently, and they're in hot water over that.
But Google split its company. So the monopoly stuff that Facebook's getting in trouble for is
Yeah, but
not
didn't so
as
isn't
effective.
wait, so isn't Google owned by Alphabet though?
Yeah.
Yes, but Alphabet is split up into other companies. So like Google's AI division and like their car self-driving division is a different letter in Alphabet. I can't remember what it is. And like Google search engine's different and then YouTube's different.
Yeah, but they're all. I mean, I think it's all the
But they're
same. I think
subsidiaries, and
it's
they're not publicly traded stocks that are differently, are they?
They're from what I understand, they're separate companies.
Oh, are they? I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool
To the
though.
point where they don't violate any of these monopoly laws because it's not the same company.
Yeah.
whichever. I think
Yeah.
it's.
Different.
I mean, whatever. Um. So yeah. So to whatever. See, yeah, she said. Lady Raven said that it started last night
No.
in the chat. Um. So yeah, like whatever, like I said, whatever holiday that you celebrate in the month of December, um, we wish you seasons greetings and a happy holiday. We say Merry Christmas in our house, so I will also say Merry Christmas or Feliz Navidad, whichever, you know. But let's jump into the big ticket nerdy news here, and who wants to away?
It's
Me.
big.
Okay, perfect.
So
Um,
Stargate.
No, listen here. All right, so we had a pretty
Wait,
good
is something dropping right now? Did something drop?
Are you talking about the mic?
No. Earlier on our pre-podcast show, Dale and I were talking about how I was like, "Oh my God, Disney's dropping so much right now," and Dale
Oh,
literally wrote, "He's like, Disney's dropping so much right now," and he's like, "Wait, you weren't talking about the same thing I was talking about?" And yes, I was. Like, and
hmm.
now we'll tell them.
So like I said, we've known about a good portion of this stuff coming down the pipeline for I don't know about a year. I would say probably midway through
For
2019.
some of it, yeah.
Specifically like WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. We knew things like Black Panther 2.
We didn't have
And
release dates.
they didn't. You're right. Oh well, some of them did, but it was a lot of the stuff that we found. Um, a lot of the stuff that did come out was new information. So, but um, was there actually 52 projects?
Those are the biggest projects. So it could be more. It just
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out.
So just to name a few in the
well,
Marvel universe.
say what it is first, like what actually we're talking about.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Disney ended up, dropping all these things.
Oh yeah. So sorry, I thought that was assumed by us saying Disney twice or three times. Disney
Fair.
dropped a bunch of teaser trailers and teaser images, and they had their press conference or their Investors Day
Yeah,
technically.
Investors Day.
They had their Investors Day like presentation. Was it Wednesday or Thursday?
10th, so Thursday.
So yeah, it was just yesterday. Sorry, staying up too late, getting my days
Everything's
mixed up.
happened yesterday.
So they
Told me
have
we had a podcast that came out on Thursdays.
right. They went ahead and sent a bunch of stuff about all of their stuff. Specifically, we'll start with the Marvel universe. Like I just talked about, we had WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Black Panther 2, and Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. All were stuff that were kind of we already knew about, but then they added some stuff like the Loki series, Hawkeye.
Is it a series or a movie?
It's a Loki. I don't know. I'll look at it. I'll look for it real quick here. But I thought it was like a chronicling of his deal. Short series, yeah.
Okay.
First look at Loki, Disney's highly anticipated short series based on Tom Hiddleston's God of Mischief character. The show also got a May 2021 release date. So, but they're also going to be doing stuff like sorry, I'm trying to sift through this instead of going back to the thing. Ant-Man 3, they have a couple of other Marvel titles that are in there. But then they're going to jump over to the Star Wars franchise. They've got the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie coming out. They've got tons of stuff about these, so we can dive into them. But Lando got a full like their a confirmation. What did you say? Droid Story, Andor, and the Visions.
So Lando. There's a couple things to touch on. Lando will have Donald Glover back reprising his role as Lando Calrissian, which will be sweet. Cassian Andor has the same actor who played Cassian Andor in Rogue One. Will be back for that. Ahsoka is huge. That's obviously Rosario Dawson, who debuted in The Mandalorian here recently.
Is that a sorry, I didn't ever
Yeah.
get a hold of that. Is that going to be like a feature film or a
There's a series.
Series, okay.
Yeah,
So she's getting her own series too.
Yeah, so Ahsoka's gonna have a series. Rangers of the New Republic is gonna have one. Star Wars: The Bad Batch is another series coming out. There's going to be The Acolyte, which is a High Republic area series. The Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which we've been hinting at for a long time. Hayden Christensen got confirmed to be returning as Darth Vader.
Along with Ewan, he was already
Ewan McGregor was like the first one to announce. Star Wars Visions is an anime, the first Star Wars anime to come out, which is pretty sweet. obviously there's Star Wars comics and books and movies and cartoons,
Yeah.
but there hasn't been an anime. So this will be interesting to see. And then a
What
droid
makes it an
story,
anime?
which is like the type of animation style.
It's not just that it's from Japan.
No, not necessarily.
No, I really don't know.
So Avatar: The Last Airbender, you could consider an anime, even though it has not like it's not as American
Really?
produced. It has nothing to do with, yeah. There
I wouldn't
are
consider that an
anime
anime.
purists that would say that it's not an anime unless it's sprung from a manga or from like a jump, like a jump series in like the uh,
Shonen Jump.
Shonen jumps. Yeah. But then if that's the case, then you have to say Cowboy Bebop isn't an anime because Cowboy Bebop came out before the manga and
Yeah. And
everything
then
else.
isn't the manga a continuation? It's not a.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's the whole. So like anime has now just been more so like it's a certain animation style.
Yeah.
Google says a style of Japanese film and television animation.
Correct. But that's
Webster's
like the
dictionary also
dictionary note.
says Japanese. Stark,
So
colorful
Google,
graphics.
does anime have to be Japanese?
Let's see. I like. Well, we can talk about that in a future episode. Let's continue on with the.
No, we could
Okay.
pigeon
So
that.
So a couple notable things here. We'll just jump back over to the Marvel real quick. You're gonna get Captain Marvel 2. I'm just gonna kind of rattle these off. Captain Marvel 2 got a scheduled release date. She-Hulk got a scheduled release date. Miss Marvel got a scheduled release, or not scheduled, but like a approximate release time. Um, and then Eternals got a confirmation, and Shang-Chi. And then jumping to um the Lucasfilm side, or the I guess the Star Wars side again. Rogue Squadron and Bad Batch, and then Rangers of the Republic also were some of the other ones we didn't mention.
I said Bad
Now,
Batch and Rangers.
did you? I thought you said
Yeah.
Acolyte and Ahsoka. I don't know.
I
Whatever.
went through the list here. Yeah.
Okay.
I said Bad Batch was a continuation of Clone Wars, and then The Mandalorian, Rangers of the New Republic. That's the Cara Dune probably episode is what that's going to be.
Okay. And then Disney has a a lot of their originals as well coming through. You're gonna have some of the like live action stuff is probably gonna be Hocus Pocus 2, Three Men and a Baby, Cheaper by the Dozen, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Ice Age Buck Wild, Another Night at the Museum.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a groan of of
That was Night at the Museum was the last movie I saw with Robin Williams in it.
oh
Really?
yeah.
He did have like I think one more movie, two more movies that came out after, but he died shortly after Night at the Museum.
Oh wow.
Oh, because he was the Civil
Teddy
War
Roosevelt.
guy. Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt.
Civil
Or
War
I
guy?
don't know. Fucking I haven't seen that in a long time.
Real quick, we have a question from Dan. Is the actor from Spider-Man 2 going to play Doc Ock in the next movie? Yes and no. Um, we're talking about Disney Marvel's universe. So what you're talking about is the Sony Marvel universe, and that's going to be for
Well, so
Spider-Man 3.
So I heard that actually.
Yeah. So that the
no, I
That's
mean,
part
actor,
of it.
the actor who played Doc Ock from Tony Maguire's Spider-Man, will be playing Doc Ock in Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So
that, and then
that's
also,
interesting. I mean, he did a good job at it, I thought.
yeah. Um, but there's also some other. If I can get into this picture, There's also some other stuff coming down from Marvel too. I Am Groot, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man Quantumania, which is Ant-Man 3, Blade, and then we're getting a Marvel produced Fantastic Four for the first time. So
Were the
or a
other two
Marvel.
Sony?
The other two were Sony. Was the second one Fox, right?
I think so.
Probably.
So the first one was Fox and or Sony, and then the second one was Fox, I think. Dale, you can
Yep.
Google that. And then like I said, I Am Groot is going to be original series on Disney Plus. Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special will be coming through for
Star Wars?
2022. What did you say?
I said Star Wars, but I was just kidding.
Well, they just had their Lego holiday special. We watched
I
it
know.
2 days ago. Armor Wars for War Machine is going to be a series that comes with Disney Plus. Ironheart. So, I mean, this Secret Invasion, Moon Knight. I already mentioned She-Hulk and Hawkeye. What else we got here? And then we can bump over to the Disney Pixar area. We're gonna get
We do the live action Little Mermaid.
Did we?
I don't know. I didn't hear that brought up.
Fantastic Four was both the new and old one was both 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if Sony owned anything.
Yep.
So I didn't see anything about live action uh Little Mermaid. So that one's news to me. But the couple of ones that I was seeing were the new Baymax. I'm really excited for that one.
I am too.
And then they've got Lightyear, which is actually Chris Evans, so he's going to be multicast in the Marvel universe or multicast in the Disney universe as the early or a younger Buzz Lightyear. And that's going to be 2022. What else we got?
Nat Geo Wild or not Geo stuff.
That's true. No, they got Zootopia Plus, which is I guess going to be a
series.
And then
I thought that Zootopia was a unique world.
yeah,
I could
so
definitely expand on it.
So I think, as I say, these are all series, right? Because Tiana is a series and Moana is a series.
So
So they're basically expanding on the existing.
I think they're really pushing heavy for pushing Disney Plus on all these. So some of them might be series, some of them might be, full movies. But I think they're trying to stay away from the movies.
Abandon movie theaters.
Yeah.
Well, and that's I think you have more. You can get more out of a series or a world, so to speak, by just by making a like a 10 episode series instead of a movie because you can expand on it.
Yeah, it's more content and it's more character building, yeah, but how much money does it bring in?
I mean
how much Yeah. Like that's smart for Disney to have their own one, but like normally they would push it to Netflix or push it to Hulu or something, but like
yeah, but having them have 5 scheduled releases for the entire year of 2020, like each one is going to come out staggered, so that's going to push people to keep their subscription all year long because they're going to get a new series every 2.5-3 months.
Yeah,
and they're going to make $1 more.
So instead of $15 per one ticket for the thing, they just $15 per month for a subscription. I mean,
that's for Hulu and Disney.
So Disenchanted sequel.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
We'll stream Disney Plus. Peter Pan and Wendy. Is this live action Pinocchio? I think that's Yeah, Tom Hanks, directed by Robert Zemeckis. Yeah.
I think TV budgets have started to overlap movie budgets. I mean,
Well, that's what
I
I'm
think it
saying.
probably costs the same and can net you a decent chunk of money. Like on a streaming platform, like it might be the thing that people come to your streaming platform for, and they stick
Whoa.
around for however much longer.
Did you see the live action Lion King prequel news?
No.
Yeah, they're gonna do a prequel to the live action Lion King is in development.
What is it all
Director,
about? The Mufasa?
I would assume it's about how like Scar and Mufasa had a falling out
Yeah,
and how that happened.
yeah.
Um,
There's probably an adventure with them in it.
Jungle Cruise, a movie with Paul Giamatti and Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt. Night at the Museum, Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild is the next installment of the 20th Century Studios.
You know, I don't like prequels. And I'll tell you why. Because if I already know what happens in the original movie, like the character dies, then it ruins it for the anticipation I feel in the other movie. Like, oh, he's fallen, but I know he survives because he's still alive in the next movie.
I mean, I guess
I
that
will
makes
say prequels have that challenge, but if they get it right where they still make a good prequel, knowing that, it it makes them awesome. And I will cite the Kyoshi novels.
Ah, the
Um,
ones I haven't read. I understand.
Probably, yeah. But the Kyoshi novels are fantastic. Even though I know when Kyoshi dies and that she survives, they didn't make any of the plot about whether or not Kyoshi would survive. It was about something else that, like, oh shit, I don't know if this actually happened or not.
Well, yeah, I get that, but like, I get that everybody dies. Like how do you say it? Gitana? Gianna?
it's uh
Point is, I get everybody dies, but but the unknown is the suspense. And if you and Josh is right, if you know, if I've seen some do it correctly where it's not like it's still unexpected, still gives you the thrill. But if I know that
so
they're going to survive through this battle or they're going to survive through this thing, then it kind of ruins it for me, in my opinion.
so what about like just finding out new information?
I
Like
think it's valuable for that.
yeah, sure, eventually that Mufasa is killed by Scar, but if that doesn't happen at all in the movie, like they don't touch on that ever and it basically picks up where his son's about to be born,
Yeah.
then does that still like ruin the whole movie for you, or is it
Well, I mean,
kind of
like
just like
what type of information would they want to give me to make it suspenseful? I mean, like you need to have like the movie itself be by itself enjoyable, but also enjoyable to the
so here's what I
grand
picture.
universe
I
that it's in.
picture I picture them starting off with Mufasa and Scar as children.
Yeah.
And a big like where is the fucking plot twist in their relationship where he becomes a shit to his brother, blah blah blah, which would force him to. So that's probably gonna be the suspenseful part is like, what did Mufasa do to piss him off, blah 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 blah, and
Yeah.
it's this fucking like crazy thing like, oh, fucking Mufasa dragon fucked or lion fucked his girlfriend or whatever, and that's why Scar's all mad
I'm like, oh,
because he's
Mufasa's the bad guy.
so in the
Could be.
live action he mentions that he picked. So that's where I'm picking it up from is in the live action he mentions that he picked Mufasa. Sarabi picked Mufasa over Scar.
Was
So
like
I mean,
Scar older or something?
no, it's just the fact that I mean I think he's his older brother technically. Like I think Scar is Mufasa's older brother.
It's usually like a monarchy. If they're our king, then it'd be
And
first
rightful
oldest.
heir to the throne.
Well, that could be,
But
some type of abdication.
so that's the thing is I think it probably is something that they like there was just a falling out and that's probably what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
It's not going to
If
have
they
any.
don't make any suspenseful moments about like I don't think there's ever going to be a moment in the prequel for the Lion King where like, oh my god, is Mufasa going to live? Like they're just not going to put any plot points revolving around that. They're going to put plot points around some other story place that helps make the story we know better. And if they can do that, then awesome. That to me is a successful prequel. But it
Yeah, I
is
mean,
these other
true.
prequels where you're like,
The
oh no,
Lion
like
King is Hamlet.
I mean, Attack of the Clones. Oh man, Obi-Wan, Padme, and Anakin are tied up in a Geonosian like death arena. I wonder what's gonna happen. Like they got to escape somehow. Like there was no suspense to it, and I think that made a lot of people hate the prequels for that reason because they were just like, oh, like we know what's gonna happen to Anakin. Obviously, he lives. We know Obi-Wan Kenobi lives. Like 2/3 of the people here can't die.
Yeah.
So like they're gonna do some ex machina to get out of here. And of course they did, and it was still good. Like if you look past that whole thing, but by building plot around that, you're kind of like, who cares? But thanks to the prequels, we now have introduction of new characters, themes, things like that have taken place that have really grown. But I mean, I definitely like the idea of doing series and stuff too. That was something we hinted at earlier, is that by having a series instead of a movie, you can get a lot more character development and answer these questions. So
For sure, Lady Raven, is right. The Lion King is Hamlet. I mean, but what's the prequel to, like, what could the prequel to Hamlet be? You know what I mean? Like, you have to, I guess, kind of backtrack and go that way. What could they do for a prequel is what I guess is the thing, is you show the previous conflict.
Yeah.
So where the
Um,
conflict arises.
Nat Geo
But
things that I liked about that. The two series that are coming to Nat Geo that stood out to me were Welcome to Earth and Limitless, which are Welcome to Earth is hosted by Will Smith, and Limitless is
yeah,
hosted by Chris Hemsworth.
you get why it's Welcome to Earth's funny, right?
It would make sense if it was Chris Hemsworth, but not for Will Smith.
no, Will Smith says that in Men in Black. He kills the guy and then says "Welcome to Earth."
It
Oh
says
yeah,
it in Independence Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Is
in
it
both
Independence
good
Day?
Independence Day.
points. Both good
Independence
points.
Day. The alien comes out of the
Sorry,
car or out of the,
sorry.
so
It's
he
two
shoots down the
movies
alien.
with Will Smith and fucking
Yeah.
aliens. Sorry, I got it mixed up.
But he punches the alien in the face and he's like,
And he said,
"Welcome to
"Welcome to
Earth."
Earth." Yeah.
But he's got a cigar in his mouth when he says it, so it says Earth.
Oh, that's why you said it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a meme. Like it's Welcome to Earth is the meme.
So what about Limitless?
I have no idea. That's not funny.
There's
But
no.
Welcome to Earth is.
Cool.
Dis-
Um.
Disney knows what they're doing.
Disney's laying it on pretty thick, I can tell you that.
I mean, it's crazy that we talked about HBO Max doing a bunch of shit like last podcast, and then this one we're like, and here's what Disney's doing
Yeah.
with their
Did
streaming
you see
service.
Black Panther 2? They're not recasting the Black Panther.
I did see
Yeah.
that. Chadwick Boseman
I
is,
was
and they're
like,
not going to CGI him. They're not going to do any of that.
so what are they doing?
It's
They're
gonna
not going to have him in there?
no, they're going to tell a story about Wakanda that has nothing to do with Black Panther, which is just fine.
Wait. Didn't they mess it? Didn't they say that? They're gonna have what's her bucket? Take over. I
They didn't.
literally thought
I
I
think
just read that.
from what I saw, they said that they weren't going to have somebody take over the mantle of Black Panther in Black Panther 2. It was going to be about the people of Wakanda, is what it's going to focus on.
Ooh.
The fuck is...
Getting dark in Drew's room.
Ooh,
Yeah.
someone turned out the lights.
I don't know if I'd like that. I think I'd kind of want to have a main character, like a
I'd like
main
to see
person.
Suri become the new Black
Is that his
Panther, but
sister?
I think, yeah, I think they're just not going to do it in the second movie.
I think you have to.
I mean, it might be. Literally just looked at the thing like minutes ago.
Like, I hate the fact that they killed off was it Michael B. Jordan? His
Yeah.
character.
really thought that it would have been a cool thing to have him not take over as Black Panther, but to have him have stayed alive
Yeah.
somehow.
I
Because
mean he took the drug, right? The purple
he
drug.
did.
So could he be contacted through like the spirits of the Lion King forest or whatever the thing was, and they could possibly it looked like the Lion King when they were connecting him with his father and everything. Remember that? Eats the fruit, gets buried in sand, goes to the Lion King forest, and then I don't know. That's what I'm saying. And I'm saying because he ate the fruit, doesn't the
call it the astral plane or whatever you want to call it.
Michael B. Jordan actually gets to go to that plane, right?
Well, he doesn't go to the one with all the kings. He goes to the one where he meets his father, and it's in.
Is it because he's
South
king or
Central.
because he ate the fucking purple fruit?
Probably because he ate the fruit.
So
he goes to some astral plane where he can meet the dead.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, so it
Darth Vader. He went to the astral plane.
Whoa.
He was the evil guy. He was the evil guy.
He did not die evil.
He died. It doesn't matter. He didn't die evil either. Remember, he was like, "You forgive me" in the end or whatever he said. I don't know what he said, but he's like, they sat there on the cliff and he died together. The guy died next to him as brothers.
He literally was like, "Hey, I'll make sure you get a proper burial," and he was like, "Hell no, just throw me in the ocean." Because
they had a moment. They had a moment. No, he gets to go to the Lion King forest.
T'Challa tried to have a moment with him, and he was like, "I don't want your pity. I don't want your moment. Let me die with pride."
Yeah, they had a moment.
They did not.
He's going to the Lion King forest. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
So here's the thing about the Black Panther is Shuri is going to take on like Lady Raven's saying, Shuri's going to take over as Black Panther. They're not going to recast T'Challa.
Well, so Kevin Feige quoted, "The movie will pay tribute to the character and the late actor and rely on other characters that appeared in the film."
Yes,
but they're not recasting. They're not recasting the Black Panther, is what they said.
They're honoring Chadwick Boseman's legacy and portrayal of T'Challa. Marvel Studios will not recast the character T'Challa. The Black Panther can be anybody, just like Lady Raven saying in the. So Shuri can take over the mantle of the Black Panther, and they cannot recast T'Challa. Like they're not gonna.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I think they're not gonna have a Black Panther in Black Panther 2.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can do that.
Why?
Because there's literally articles that say.
I agree. You can't have no Black Panther in Black Panther 2.
I mean,
it's literally right here. Marvel is planning to make Shuri the MCU's new Black Panther.
Tell me that this photo doesn't look like
I'm sure they
the
would.
Lion King forest.
Fucking deal.
Sorry, I apologize.
Why do you say the Lion King forest?
That's the first thing that I think of.
It's from the scene where Rafiki's in the tree.
Yeah,
that's what he thinks of.
Yeah.
That's a single tree.
Show this thread. What is this? Why is this? This is weird.
Trying to get the full interview. People just keep quoting it.
So I'm going to show you guys 2 images side by side. Let's see, screen 2. We'll just go here. Okay, look at.
Watch stream. What is this? All right. I mean, those are 2 drastically. One that tree's a thick boy, and the other tree is not.
That's a cartoon, though.
That's still.
So I'm just saying.
So what is a 2.5 trees on considered a forest, though? That's what I want to know.
That just came to my head. I'm just saying.
I suppose that's where Josh is getting all mixed up is
Like,
the
there's an
fact that it's
actual
not a
forest
forest.
in the Lion King. It's
Yeah.
where it's where Simba goes and meets
The-
Timon and Pumbaa.
The Lion King,
Like,
Savannah, whatever. I
that's
know.
the
I watched the
forest.
Jungle Book. There's panthers in the jungle. There was a panther sitting on that tree. Thus, jungle.
Oh,
That's my connection. So, whatever. I'm done with you guys.
Yeah.
I was a young warthog.
see, so
Yeah.
this quote from Disney's Twitter says honoring Chadwick Boseman's
I
legacy and
literally just
portrayal of
read that, you
T'Challa.
shit.
It says they will not recast the character,
Yeah, but I think they
but
mean
will
Yeah,
explore the world of.
T'Challa.
But it says will not replace the character, quote, but will explore the world of Wakanda and the rich characters introduced in the film first,
Which
or
is
in the first film.
which is Shuri.
I think they can. I think they can. You can interpret that both ways. Is either they're not going to cast Chitala, or they're not going to cast the Black Panther. I mean, like you said, the Black Panther can change mantles, like they did like they're trying to do with the Winter Soldier and the Falcon guy. As far
Like,
as
I honestly think they're going to do the whole movie without a Black Panther. Just before, like, as the movie ends, they're going to have Shuri be the Black Panther. Either it's going to be the climax of the film, or it's going to be an after credits.
I agree with that. I do think that. I think maybe there's another story to tell there, and then but in the end, you have to have another Black Panther come out. Whoever it is.
Yeah, there's gonna be another Black Panther. That's fine. I'm just saying, Black Panther 2 is not where it's gonna happen. Only because
Oh, we'll have it
Black
in it.
Panther
But
2,
like you said, it's going to be at the end.
See,
it's either gonna be at the very end climax or or even just a stinger at the end.
I really think that if you sorry, I'm kind of just trying to
I think
watch
it'll
the
be.
comments and stuff.
I think it'll be
Um,
something like this: is somebody will be introduced, either a new character or another character. He'll get the power of the Black Panther and the suit, but won't be called the Black Panther. He won't take the oath and all that crap. And then like he'll probably like use the suit out of necessity or out of something, and then become the Black Panther in the very end, like the king or in some way like just steal the suit and be off to the side. I don't know.
Or here's an idea: use the Black Panther franchise, go back in time slightly before Chadwick Boseman became the Black Panther, and talk about Atlantis. Bring up the Namor, the Sea Mariner, and introduce that character. Then at the end of the movie, again, bring in the new Black Panther, who's going to then be part of the upcoming battle with the people of Atlantis, because that was something that was hinted at in
Atlantis.
yeah,
Yeah.
when they did the thing, they talked about how
they were dealing with their own problems in Wakanda
yeah,
with earthquakes under the sea.
yeah.
And those earthquakes under the
So
sea were caused by the Atlanteans.
so that would be the only. I mean, that makes some bit of sense to, I mean that somewhat makes sense, but I feel like I don't know. I mean, you could then at that point go back, but that's a lot of recast, like the problem I see is there's a lot of both of those scenarios that you have to have. It would make no sense to not have Chadwick Boseman in them. Like if you go pre him, he would still have to be there because he's the king's son.
Not if it was his father who had a major role to play with the Atlanteans before. So then you could have a young version of his father, a young version of his mother, and talk about the people of Wakanda and celebrate that whole culture there while bringing in Atlantis. And then at the end, then you're like, okay, by the way, here's our next Black Panther. Because again, I do totally believe they will put Shuri as the Black Panther. That's 100% what I believe is going to happen. But
you sure?
I don't think they're going to use this movie for it.
What are you looking at, Dale?
I'm seeing stuff online, like I typed into Google cast of Black Panther, and at the very top, Michael B. Jordan pops up.
Cast of
For
Black
a
Panther
cast.
2.
I go Black Panther 2 cast, and all the other characters are familiar, but one of them that pops up is Michael B. Jordan.
It could also be a flashback too.
Could be, yeah, very possible. Yeah, USA Today
Yeah,
says
I
he won't be recasting T'Challa in Black Panther 2. So, yeah, I think it's. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's move on to something fun.
Because I was gonna say I just think that with that you're gonna have, I think it would have to happen at um. I do see what you're saying. See what you're saying though. It's showing that he's building the Black Panther 2 cast.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
along with, but so my thought is that they're gonna do something right at the beginning. Uh, they're not going to do CGI. They'll have some sort of voiceover, and maybe retcon it to where, uh, he something happened to him, and Shuri takes over, or the whole what
the Atlanteans attack and kill him,
that could be it, and then the whole movie
and
is
then you go
about
back and tell the story of why the Atlanteans attacked and killed.
and the whole thing is Shuri. Basically, the whole movie is Shuri taking up the mantle and like preparing herself.
Or Michael B. Jordan could be resurrected by the Atlanteans.
So here's the thing is
They throw him in
the
the sea. The
so
Atlanteans
the
bring him
thing
back.
about the purple stuff is, you see how much shit that happened to Chadwick Boseman or T'Challa in the fight. He got cut a couple times. He fucking fell down the thing. The thing is supposed to give you the strength of the
The Black
the
Panther.
the strength of do they say the Black Panther? What does he say? The strength of the
Yeah.
gods or
Ancestors.
whatever,
Yeah.
ancestors.
I think it was the Black Panther.
Yeah, but
Strength of the
during
Black.
the fight, he doesn't have the purple thing.
They take
Yeah,
it
but
away.
they take it away, but then they put it back. But Michael B. Jordan still eventually gets it. So then when they're fighting in the Black Panther suits, they both have the strength of the ancestors or
Yeah.
the strength of
Yeah.
the Black Panther. So what I'm saying is they showed him die on screen, but they didn't show him die on screen.
Yeah.
They just showed him keel over. He could have not died, but like you said, he's in the top build cast here.
Yeah.
So
We will
it's
find out.
I don't know. It's
But Baymax. Ooh, I'm excited for that.
super
Yeah.
super
I
excited.
enjoyed the first one. I thought they should have done a second one. I enjoyed Hero. Was it not Hero?
He almost said Hero Nakamura.
I know I almost did. Hero. Oh my god, I really can't remember.
What are you trying to fucking
Hero
talk
Baymax. Like, what's his name?
Oh, Hero
Hamada.
Hamada, yeah.
Dang it. I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot that. Hiro Hamada. I've seen him in a few comics and I've seen him in a few cartoons and whatnot. As like a not with Baymax, but with like a lot of scientist stuff and whatnot. Or as a very smart kid. So I enjoy the character. I think it'll be fun. I hope they get either the same people to kind of join in some way. With that, Zootopia, I liked. Is there anything in the Star Wars universe, Josh, you're looking forward to, or you think is going to be something to look out for?
I mean, I literally Star Wars can do no wrong by me right now. Like, I think anything and everything that comes out, I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Like, literally everything.
There's not something like you roll your eyes at or be like, oh, that's stupid.
Droid story, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm a little like, don't care too much about. But I'm not gonna lie, like I love BB-8. I think BB-8's a fascinating droid. Obviously, I love R2D2. Um, oh man, what was the one from
Rogue One,
no, the Rogue One, yeah. K2SO was pretty
K2SO,
sweet.
yeah.
How
But
about Dio?
Dio, yeah, Dio is like so I get you know what? No, I take it back. I'm excited for Droid
They're all
Story. Fuck. Like
Bones.
Mr. Bones
Mr.
is one of my
Bones.
favorite droids ever.
Only
Um,
only book I ever listened to
but
of Star Wars.
um like even like in The Last Jedi, uh like your droid there was fantastic. Like so yeah, I think having every Star Wars story has a really nice droid that like everybody likes.
Yeah,
Even Solo, had L3.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I think that's something that I think would be really cool is to have a droid story because I think that's what it's gonna be. Like, it's gonna be a Star Wars story that is around a droid,
Yeah.
which
Um,
sweet.
I'm really happy that I mean, like, while my feelings towards Disney is besides the point. I really enjoyed that for Marvel at least, they have a picture, they have a world that they are creating with Endgame as the finisher for the first like big
Phase.
phase, if you want to call it. I like that they finished up. They did it all nicely. It's gonna, it can lead into new stuff, but they need to have a good foundation for a new like mega villain kind of thing. Thanos was great. We're moving on to something new. They need to get those like you had Captain America, you had Iron Man. What are the next characters that are foundation that needs to be in the Avengers? Because I know Avengers 4 is already on the works as well.
So Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier is definitely. I mean, they're gearing up to have. Or did I say Captain Falcon?
You did.
Yeah, I was like, did you mean to say Captain Falcon?
Because
Oh my gosh,
Four.
more nerdy news. I forgot about that.
oh yeah, Smash Brothers. They
Yeah,
added
new Smash
Sephiroth,
Bros. Character coming out.
Who is it?
If you
and
like Sephiroth from Final
Sephiroth.
Fantasy.
Uh,
I think that stuff's all just cash grabs now because like you can play as Master Chief in Fortnite. Like just no, Dale, you got to do the floss.
no, not for Fortnite. We just got a new follower.
Oh,
The I always forget the name. GI.
my mom is
Yeah.
Katana.
Katana.
Or
Is that how you
some
say it?
Gitana. I don't know.
Gitan.
Ask her. Ask
Gitan.
her. How do you phonetically spell that
Yeah.
or sound that out?
But thank you for
Consider
following.
following.
We're probably gonna get copyright strike for that, but I love it every time.
Why can't you say thank you for following?
Bill Nye comes.
Well, because it's Bill Nye's GIF, and then I have Bill Nye the Science Guy like theme song as it plays. So,
Well, stop it.
yeah, I really like it,
No.
so that's why I do it.
All right, cool. Well, that kind of wraps that junk up. Not really. There's tons of shit that came out with
Yeah.
it. So
There's so much. Like we literally could spend all day talking about Star Wars and Disney stuff and
Yeah.
Marvel stuff.
Is a female Spanish gypsy? Maybe.
I think the word gypsy is canceled.
Isn't Romana Romani?
So is it pronounced gypsy then?
What?
No,
I'm
it's not pronounced.
I'm trying to look up like how to say it, but I don't know.
Yes, the word gypsy is canceled. Unless it's a Borat movie.
Well, thank you for following again.
Yes, thank you.
Let's move on to sciencey news.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yes.
to do that for like 5 minutes.
Joshy?
Okay, so Star Wars. No, Mars. Mars is in the news. Couple things about Mars. I know Dale's got some things, but so Starship did a high altitude test the other day in Boca Chino, Texas, which SpaceX says was a success, even though it ended in the spontaneous destruction of their spontaneous unplanned destruction, I think is what it was.
Thud?
SUD of his
Is
starship.
that what he's called? He said
Yeah.
it's Sud.
It wasn't spontaneous. It was like metal fuel crash. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like
I don't-
spontaneous.
It exploded, and I think that was it was there 1 second, and then it wasn't there.
So if I shoot a flare gun into my gas tank, is that spontaneous?
The combustion would be.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's not spontaneous combustion. It is
your
planned. It is planned combustion.
The destruction of your car would happen spontaneously.
I guess.
Mm,
I think it's a side effect from it, not a direct cause.
Oh, of course, yeah.
no,
But
I feel like
so,
I feel like spontaneous is like you leave the gas on in your house and the refrigerator clicks on and explodes the house.
so the plan was not to crash Starship.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yes. So a spontaneous crash, that's the effect is explosion. Like
Yeah.
But anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah, no, it was pretty sweet. It went up really high, and then they were able to.
Did they ever figure out the actual altitude?
I
Because I saw something
didn't
about how
check.
they weren't sure because it crashed. They weren't sure how high it actually went or something.
Well, because they also were like throttling engines, which was weird. I think they were having, like, from what I saw, they had one of the engines fail as it was going up, and then they shut off the other engine just to see if they could keep accelerating even with just one. And then they were able to, flop down the thing and let it like kind of belly flop sail, because that's part of the reentry pattern that the starship's going to have, is this belly flop thing, and then just before it hits the ground it reorients itself and slows down. But yeah, I think they just pushed the limits a little too hard and didn't start slowing down fast enough or high enough, and they hit the ground a little harder than planned. But I think they were just trying to test the limits from what it looked like. But that is going to be the craft that is going to take people to the moon. That's also going to be the craft that's going to take people to Mars, which is where our next bit of news comes in, Dale.
So there's this device by, I believe, NASA that created this. Yeah, NASA did. It is a device called MOXIE. It stands for Mars Oxygen Insuit Resource Utilization Experiment. I don't know, as MOXIE. What this will do is it'll take frozen water, ice, from the frozen lakes on Mars. It'll take that and it'll mix it up with CO2 in the atmosphere to produce oxygen and methane fuel. So it'll use some kind of electrolysis in some way to do that. Obviously, the methane will be used for either heat or moving stuff around, whatnot, and then the oxygen will be used to breathe. Because the oxygen on Mars right now is about less than 1%. There's still some, but very little.
Yeah, super.
And it needs to be about 21% of what it is right now, because the nitrogen level is like 95%, I believe.
Dale, what is the chemical formula for methane?
Methane. I'm gonna say,
or just what elements make up methane? I guess that's probably the
CNH.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
I would
so
say
you have the C, you have the H,
H14.
you have the O. We want to get O2. We want to get.
Yeah, I would say.
So we have CO2. We have H2O. We're going to mix those together in some sort of chemical reaction and get methane and O2 out of it.
I'm gonna click this, but I believe it's C16H14.
I think that's pretty close. Yeah.
Completely wrong.
Is it wrong?
CH4.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking of octane probably.
So so that's the thing. Methane, gasoline, kerosene.
Hexane. I'm thinking of hexane.
are literally just carbon, hydrogen, or it's
And
hydrogen, carbon.
It's always the first one plus. So with all that, it's always like CH. It's the first. It's carbon, whatever that number is. So it's 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, whatever, 8, 9, whatever. Then the hydrogen is double the first one plus 2.
Yeah. And you just get this big long hydrogen chain, and that's what most of our explosive fuel mixtures are made out of.
No. Which is my favorite. C8
Kerosene
H
or methane.
18, 16 plus 2, 18. Octane, yeah, I got it right. Kerosene is my favorite.
Yeah, it's all fucking gibberish to me.
It's the Lion King forest, right? Again, Drew? That's your Lion King
No.
forest?
No.
No?
The thing that I don't get though is, so methane's a great fuel to like run things on Mars, but like we need to refuel our spaceship, and that's going to take liquid hydrogen and oxygen. So like they probably need to just electrolysis the water to make hydrogen and just burn the hydrogen for fuel instead of, I mean, unless it's easier to make methane than it is to make
I think
hydrogen and oxygen.
I think what they'll do is for entry and re-entry, or like takeoff and landing, pretty much, they'll bring enough fuel for both. I don't think they'll make the fuel to put on there. I think they'll land with enough fuel and then take off with the same amount because there's little atmosphere.
Okay, so go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't think you can store liquid hydrogen for that long, even on Mars.
And is that liquid?
I mean, otherwise you're going to have huge gas tanks of hydrogen that you're going to have to bring with you that are going to be stupid heavy.
Wouldn't they just be like compressed gas at that point, and then you can
If you compress the gas, what's it going to do?
turn to liquid?
So you can't keep liquid.
I'm saying move it at the point where it's or get it to the point where it's gas, and then make it cold enough where it's liquid, and then use that.
I think it would leak.
I don't know.
That's one of the problems.
They know.
I think that
We don't know.
I'm sure they know. I think that's one of the biggest things, I think, as far as like Mars travel.
What they do
is
on the moon
concerned.
landing?
The moon landing, doesn't take nearly as much fuel,
No
and their
atmosphere.
spacewalk was like a day.
And so it was but how long are they going to stay on
So
Mars?
they probably did bring the fuel with them. Years?
But I'm saying, like, what they'll probably do is they'll probably have something in space, and they'll land for a little bit, and then they'll come out. This is for more like long term. Anytime they're going to come down and up, it'll be a quick, down and up.
Your first missions are either going to be one way only, or they're going to be one way for a year plus, and then they're going to have to come back.
You think so?
Yeah, because you'll use twice as much fuel if you go at the wrong time of the year.
Well, no, I'm talking about like as far as the actual time on the planet. You think it's going to be a longer time than?
Yeah, because we can only send objects over to Mars when we're super close to each other, or when we're going to be super close to each other. Otherwise, we're way far off, and you use more than twice as much fuel to send the same object to Mars.
I don't know.
So it just wouldn't make any sense.
We will find out, hopefully, in our lifetime.
I am so excited. I want to go to Mars so bad. I don't physically
want
want to go to Mars. I meant like as like a species.
Okay, I want to stay here.
To go to Mars.
Please, no, not for me. Not for me.
I would love to control a robot on Mars. I think that would be fun.
Was it 14
like if we can
14-minute around thing, push a button, it does the thing.
If we can like perfect the lag somehow.
Sorry, light speed is too slow for you.
Quantum entanglement. That's all we need to do, Dale.
All right, so nobody cares about that sciencey stuff. I'm gonna jump back to the nerdy news because I went and dived a little bit more into this. Josh, you know that they're doing a Percy Jackson Olympians.
TV series?
Yeah,
Yeah, on Disney Plus.
yeah. So they did that. They're also doing a Mighty Ducks Game Changers series.
Is
Big
it
Shot.
actual ducks?
I would assume it's live action, so it's real.
Damn.
Like real people like this.
Wait, are you talking about the superheroes?
Yeah.
He is talking about the Ducks from Outer Space cartoon.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
I would assume that it's probably going to be the actual hockey and not the Mighty Ducks, but maybe it is like live action people in giant turtle suits.
Go ninja, go ninja.
You said live action?
Yeah, like kind of like they did Ninja Turtles, but it could be Mighty
I
Ducks
mean,
reboot Game Changer.
I would like to see Charlie coach a team and like Coach Bombay kind of get that Hans treatment.
Here, there's a teaser trailer for it.
Is it a real teaser trailer?
Yeah, it might be a. And they're talking about the NFL. Yeah, they're talking about Gordon Bombay. So this is So who the show you like, Lorelai, Gilmore Girls?
Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mom is gonna be in it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Laura Graham is her name.
Yeah, Laura Graham.
That's fun.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
They're also going to do a new Turner and Hooch. We talked about that. We talked about that.
Is Tom Hanks going to be in it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it'd be so good if he was.
This is.
Is Phil Lewis going to be in it?
I don't know. I didn't look into it that much. I'm just going back over some of the shit that we,
Hooch from Scrubs,
messed up or didn't talk about.
Hooch is crazy.
We didn't talk about a new installment of Indiana Jones. We didn't talk about that.
If I hope what's his name comes back for that.
Harrison Ford or Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf.
He's Harrison Ford. I know is
Shia LaBeouf.
They're gonna do a new Sister Act film starring Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay. I like Sister Act.
Catholicism's so passe.
I think it'll be
Just
good.
kidding.
I think they did a good job.
Let's see, Chippendale Rescue Rangers hybrid live action film.
I did see that. John Mulaney
and Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
That's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
How's that not amazing?
I
want to look that up.
So then they're also gonna do Encanto, which will include songs by Emmy, Grammy, and Tony Award-winning Lin-Manuel Miranda, and is slated in theaters in November 2021.
I kind of hope that Chippendale Rescue Rangers plays out like the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie did.
No, I think it'll play out like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, I agree with that. Or like Smurfs, or like Sonic.
Ooh, Sonic, yeah. I could see
spring of 2022.
The reason why I wanted the Looney Tunes movie and the Rocky and Bullwinkle and Space Jam, I think were really nice because like there was still like the cartoon aspect of it, like was still very much
like
there.
Cartoons.
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
they look like cartoons, but they weren't. They were like 3-dimensional cartoons, not like live. They didn't look like Lion King mice or whatever.
Yeah, they weren't trying to make. Yeah, because.
I think Alvin and the Chipmunks was still kind of in that kind of cartoony realm, but they were still like kind of close.
Was there too. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's still what was it?
Speaking of Indiana Jones.
No case too big, no case too small. When you need help, just call me.
Chippendale.
So let's go back. Getting to Marvel. We talked about that.
Whose
Ant-Man.
ringtone for you is Chippendales, Dale?
My aunt, and that I don't have that phone anymore.
Oh, okay.
Thor: Love and Thunder. We talked about that. ESPN. Nobody cares about that.
Did we talk about Tico Waititi's he's directing a movie for Star Wars too as well?
Yeah,
he's got a Star Wars movie.
He's directing. He's.
It's not the Rogue Squadron, is it?
I think it's Rogue Squadron.
Roger, Roger.
No, it just says Star Wars movie.
Harrison Ford will return for his 5th and final Indiana Jones movie. Turning 80 this year. A lot of stuff, guys. A lot of stuff.
There's 52 different things.
I liked Indiana Jones.
In the Crystal Skull?
Yeah. I enjoyed the movie.
I didn't find the Crystal Skull was too good, but I
think the ending was a little over the top, but I thought the rest of the movie was fine.
Dang.
Aliens.
I'm okay that it was like a little mystical, because that's like throughout the entire Indiana Jones stuff.
That's every Indiana, yeah.
So I get that, but like it was just like way over the top as far as that. Like they could have just found an alien and like had a conversation, and then you could have left on a spaceship.
Like I'm okay.
Spaceship flying away, that's fine, but like
there being a world where God and Nazis exist, but like where God, Nazis, and now aliens exist, kinda just
You're just oversaturating the.
Yeah, you're taking my suspension of belief away.
Hey, they never say that God makes the ark. God makes the ark in the stories, but maybe aliens did.
Why can't God fuck with aliens? What if Earth's just like a side project for this guy?
I don't know.
Oh my God! What if the aliens made the Grail and the Ark, and Indiana Jones's dad? I can't remember what all he.
Fucking Sean Connery.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what was the third. So is the
Grail.
The Grail was the first one, and then they go to they didn't get anything in the like when they were in India, did they?
Can we talk about Mando spoilers?
Can we talk about Mando spoilers like
Temple
for today?
Of Doom.
No, not for today. For last week.
I mean, we can't. Yeah, but what did he take away from Temple of Doom? Like
the Crystal Kingdom.
That's number 2, right? No.
Yeah.
That's...
Temple of Doom was 2. And it says, "Please no Mando." So our viewers don't want to hear us talk about the Mandalorian.
Causing the stone to glow red hot through the satchel.
Not today's episode, last week's episode. Can we do last week's episode?
Can we go up to last week's episode, Lady Raven?
The Last Crusade. Yeah, that was the third one.
The Last Crusade was the third one. And that was the Ark. No, the Ark was the first one.
Ark is the first one.
Then the crazy. There's nothing in Temple of Doom. Like they didn't get anything out of it.
Well, like, yeah, they got something out of it. It said.
All right, they said last week's fine. Okay, so I saw this deal where there was a Kickstarter for a Razor Crest, like toy, or not toy, but like figure.
Yeah.
It was a Kickstarter for it, and they made a bunch of money, and then they blew it up last week, so it's not going to be a staple craft.
Funny.
It's not going to be like a Millennium Falcon.
Nom, 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 nom.
Unless they find like another Razor Crest or type of.
Is Razor Crest the type of ship?
Well, it's like it's not. That's what he named it, but if they find a similar ship,
I have not watched any Mandalorian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Thanks for all the spoilers. You
The Razor Crest is
loser.
old enough to outdate the Empire.
So is Palpatine.
Yes. I was really sad because there was a lot of cool shit in there. Like all his weapons are gone.
Let's wrap up the episode and then we'll talk more if we need to.
Yeah, geez, it's 11:15. I didn't even realize that.
It's 12:15 from Dale.
Yeah, I'm a sleepy buscus. Oh no, bad Josh.
Don't be saying that stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
Damn, Toby Turner being a racist.
Well, thank you everybody for listening this week. We appreciate it. If you guys aren't familiar, we do have a Facebook. We do have a Twitter. We don't post that much on Instagram, but we have one. We also have YouTube. We'll be posting these too. So if you're already here, please subscribe. Please like everything that you can. And tell your friends, because we like more people. More people that watch us, the more people that we grow, and the better content we create. So I appreciate everybody who joined us on our stream this week. We'll be hopefully doing it again at the same time next Friday at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain.
And we're going to be off the Friday
Pacific.
after that.
Okay, let's just do a Christmas stream.
I'll do a Christmas stream. That's fine with me. What am I doing Christmas Day? Watching Wonder Woman all day.
Christmas.
Pretty much it.
It'll be Christmas night, right?
That's pretty much it. I'll watch Wonder Woman. Ooh, that's what we should do, a Wonder Woman review.
Yeah. That's fine. Me and Amanda are gonna watch it because we're not going to our family's house.
Yeah.
So
we will be, but that's because we've been around our family forever. So
yeah. Any last words?
Wait.
What do you want on your tombstone?
No, I think that's everything.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I'm gonna play the intro one more time, and then we'll talk some more. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Sexy Nerd Science Season 5.
Make sure to like us and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Don't forget to check out our merch on Teespring and support us on Project Nerd Patreon at patreon.com/projectnerd.